Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Good morning. Good morning to you. I said good morning to you. How y'all doing? It's been a minute. I missed my fellow freedom marches, y'all. But it's been all good. I did a video on my I did a live stream on my backup channel, Freedom's March 2. I have two backup channels, y'all. Freedom's March 2 and Tyrant's Bane. Just straight Tyrant's Bane. No TDOA after. Uh, but right now, Tyrant's Bane has more subs. So I prefer y'all help build that up first. This channel is not gonna last too much longer. I don't believe. You know, uh, I have a strike that's supposed to fall off in April. So, but we'll see if I last till then. One more strike, and I get booted. This channel is going forever. So, you know, and of course, the last strike was a bullshit. That was some bullshit. It was the live I did with the doctor John Campbell. Dr. John Campbell, that British doctor. He was talking about a certain disease and how basically he was talking about the hokey pokey and the disease. And all I did was essentially, play his video on my channel during my live stream. And they struck me for that. They gave me a community guideline strike for medical misinformation, even though I was using his video to convey what I was saying, right? I didn't say anything differently than what old boy said, John Campbell, right? I didn't say anything differently. But what I did was I fucked around and used the V word. And when you do that, when I did that, that was it. That was what got me, y'all. Even though he said the same shit I was saying, his channel never got a strike. His video never got taken down. But I got a strike. My video got taken down, and I was put on a 2-week suspension. Now, why would that happen? Why are they going after my little ass channel with 1,700 subscribers? I've been at 1,700 subscribers for almost a year. All right. I've been at 1,700 subscribers for almost a year. But if I say the same shit that a YouTuber with over a million, well, over 2 million now, subscribers says, I get fucking struck and he gets to keep his channel. And it's not just him, right? It's all these other, there's plenty of other YouTubers with much more subscribers than I have. I'm talking about hundreds of times more subscribers than I have that can say the same shit I say. That can shit on the hokey pokey, all that shit. They can talk about the V word. They can talk about the C word, and they won't get anything. Nothing will happen to them, even though they'll complain about censorship. They don't really get censored like I get censored with my small ass channel. I don't understand it. That's just the way of the world, I guess. It is what it is, y'all. We're gonna keep rolling with it. Oh man. But what have I been up to for these last 2 weeks? A whole lot. Getting the shit done. I told you guys when I came out here to South Carolina, we was gonna hit the ground running with some homesteading projects. Just trying to get closer to being self-sufficient. Me and my team, me and my crew. Um, and we're getting a lot of shit done. I got some pictures to send y'all. I've been to Georgia visiting somebody's land. We're just getting shit done. We're planting seed. We're doing this, that, and the third. I'm learning different things about, homesteading and gardening and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys the pictures. I'm looking forward to starting the new channel. I'm going to start a new channel completely focused on the food project. That's going to be non-controversial. It's going to be instructional. It's going to be an informative, channel. We're going to vlog and we're going to do podcasts and post videos and things like that, just to show you guys what we're doing and kind of help other people learn how to do the same thing. So it's going to be a non-controversial channel so that we can help that channel grow, so that it can actually grow without any hindrance. And there might be another offshoot channel where we can talk about more controversial topics. I'm thinking about creating a podcast channel just for our podcast, so that we can touch on certain topics that you know uh, that we won't care if they strike the channel or if it doesn't get monetized. See what I'm saying? But we're trying to grow a movement. We're connecting with so many homeowners, landowners actually, that are tired of being beholden to the government rule and relying on the government for shit. So we're basically we're going to be helping people build homesteads, right? We're going to use all our expertise to kind of, my expertise as an electrician and other things. We got a grower. He knows how to, he has a gardening business. Well, he had a gardening business, but he knows about that. And we have an elder that's going to be involved. He is a farmer. He's been farming for like 20 years. He has a total of about 30 acres of land. This other guy that he knows has about 47 acres of land. So we're basically building a network of individuals that we can form together if the shit pops off. You know what I'm saying? Shit hits the fan, we'll be good to go. And all that type of shit. And this is what I've been telling you guys about for years. I know it sounded like I was just running my mouth, but I wasn't coming with any action. But you guys are going to see the action. I'm going to post some action in my on the community page, on the community tab, or whatever the case may be. We're going to show you guys what we're doing. Now, we can't show you everything, okay? We can't show you everything, but we're going to show you what we can show you, what makes sense to show you, shit that's going to help you guys if you need that type of help, right? And we're on the Eastern Seaboard, we're in the Southeast, and hey, we can reach out and help people. We can reach out and help you guys if we have to, work together as a community. But this is the thing. Anybody that gets involved in any form of fashion has to carry their own weight, right? Except for the children and the elders, right? Because that's what we're doing this for our children. So our children can be okay when they get old enough, when they get those responsibilities. Our children need to be ready, right? We need to get things ready for our children so they'll be okay, so they can be self-sufficient when they get to an age much earlier than I was. I'm 42 years old. My children are gonna be straight when they 15, 16 years old. That's what we're working toward, and that's what we're going to do. And we want to help other people's children get that popping, right? We want to put together classes for children and things like that. And like I said, everybody's going to be carrying their own weight, even the children. Once your children are old enough to do shit, my children are going to be putting in work. My son came with me. My oldest son came with me to Georgia. We went to the guy's land and to put in, because he's gonna be putting in work. Every time I do something, every time I make moves with the group, I'm taking my 8-year-old son with me. He's gonna be putting his hands on shit. Now my daughter's gonna put hands on shit too, but I need to get my son out and get him that masculine energy that he needs. Get him out there working. Like I said, my daughters are gonna be involved as well. They're actually the team is gonna come to my house and we're gonna put up some planters in my backyard, and then we're gonna plant for the spring coming up. So, and there's only a short window where we can do that. But this year we had a cold snap, which we had a cold snap on this side of the country, like last week or the week before last, almost 2 weeks ago, where it was like 19, 20 degrees, and people had planted right before that and had things coming out of the ground already, and that shit got destroyed by the cold snap. And we're thinking it might be one more cold snap before we're really ready to plant something. But as long as we drop seed now, before and shit don't spring out before a cold snap happens, I think we're good to go. These are the type of things that I had no idea about, right? Because I live in California. I lived in California, uh, and we don't have cold snaps like that, right? You can grow shit year round in most parts of California. It's not so much that way out here, except for maybe in Florida, in southern Georgia. But anyway, I'm ranting, but it is what it is. So these are things that we're doing. I'm putting my mouth, the shit that was coming out of my mouth, I'm putting it to action. And that's what I've been wanting to do. And this is what I've been trying to encourage you guys to do, right? Stop fucking around with people who ain't willing to put the work in, ready to be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And all that type of shit. Because when you get yourself ready, when you're prepared and you're ready to go, those people are going to come and they're going to try to leech off you. But they didn't put no work in when you asked them to. When you said, "Look, man, we got to get this shit popping right now. Let's get this popping. Let's make things happen." They didn't want to do it. So now all of a sudden, like when the pandemic happened, I had people here, "Oh, we should have did what you said." You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on this for years. I've been trying to get people mobilized for years to get this shit done. I was just on the wrong side of the country. Now I'm on the right side of the country where people are ready for action. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to get shit popping, and we're going to show you the progress. We're going to show you the moves, all that type of shit. And that's how we're going to do it. And I want to expand the network to a certain degree. I want to expand our network to you individuals that are of like mine. Those who support me on my YouTube channel and then beyond that. So, yeah, I'm ready to get this train moving. And, I know the way YouTube is now, it's going to be hard to get that type of movement. But we're going to do it anyway. We're not just going to use YouTube. We're going to use Instagram. We're going to use Facebook. We're going to do all the podcasting platforms. We're going to get this shit popping. Because it's time. It's been time. And now we're going to get it cracking. So anyway, that being all, I just want to get that all out the way. Let y'all know that I've been making moves. Me and my team have been making moves, and we're doing it official. We're doing it legit. You know what I'm saying? We're actually we're creating bylaws and shit like that, because this organization that we're building has to be on point. It has to be tight. So, and we're not looking to build a big old group of hundreds of thousands of people or thousands of people or hundreds of people. We're going to keep it small, but that's intimate knowledge that, beyond that, what I just said is not even necessary for me to explain right here. But anyway, so a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on with Russia and Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? And this shit is wild. It's hard to know what to believe about any of this, because there's so much propaganda out there. There's so much foolishness out there. That is crazy, right? We know that Ukraine and Volodymyr, whatever, however you pronounce it, this guy, he knows how to he knows how to put on a show. He's an entertainer. So, and there's been a lot of videos where you don't know what's real. They show videos of supposedly some town in Ukraine, and it was put side by side with the explosion in Beirut that happened, that big ass explosion, that accidental explosion in Beirut. Uh, they showed the aftermath of the Beirut explosion and what was supposed to be this town in Ukraine that looked identical. I don't know how real that is. You know, it's hard to know what's real and what's fake. But I wouldn't put it past them to pull some shit like this. Here's the thing. When I found this out, I was like, okay, so that's why I'm not even going to say Biden because he don't know what the fuck's going on. The dude's a puppet. But those individuals behind Biden, right? The powers that should not be. I think I figured out what's going on here. I figured out why they wanted Russia to invade so badly, right? And I figured out because Russia invaded, and that was a big deal. But what happened when Joe Biden went to Poland, right? When he did his little tour in Eastern Europe, what was he talking about specifically? He wasn't talking about the Russian military. He wasn't talking about the Russian government as a whole. He was talking about eliminating who as the leader of Russia, Vladimir Putin, right? Why? Why is Joe Biden now talking about this long haul war and this, oh, we're in this for the long haul. We got to fight for the long haul. It's going to be some sac. Why is this happening? Why? And his focus is on Vlad. Why is the focus so hard on Vladimir Putin himself? Because let's look at this. Yes, Vladimir Putin is supposed to be the leader of Russia, but he's not the only component of the leadership in Russia, right? There are other components to the leadership in Russia. There are the military generals, right? Because Vladimir Putin was not a military guy. He was KGB. He was a spy, right? Just like out here we got the CIA. CIA agents are not military unless they were prior military. But Vladimir Putin was a KGB. You know what? He might have been in the military. Let me take that back. I think he was in the military. But he's more of a spy, right? So Vladimir Putin has oligarchs that he has to answer to, and he also has the military generals and whatnot that has some say. So why is it so much focus on Vladimir Putin? It's the same reason there was so much focus on Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein, right? Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. And why so much focus is on the Ayatollah in Iran, but they can't really do shit about Iran right now, right? Because Iran is a nuclear power and they're backed by Russia and China. Well, I don't know. I don't know about China so much, but why so much focus on Vladimir Putin? Well, it appears, right, that okay, so we're not taking any Russian oil, but guess who is? China, right? China wants to take Russian oil, but how are they going to do that, right? Because we know that the world reserve currency is the U.S. dollar, right? Even though Russia and China are not tied in to the petro tied into you know that so much. They don't have the central banks. They're not dealing with the central banks. They still have to commerce and trade in the petrodollar in certain instances, in a lot, right? When they trade with European countries and Saudi Arabia, whatever type of shit's going on. Well, Vladimir Putin is talking about getting rid of fiat, right? and moving to going back to the gold standard with the ruble. So he's no longer going to be accepting U.S. dollars for his trade in oil, right? He is now going to only accept gold, rubles, and yuan, right? The Chinese currency. So what does that do? That removes a lot of the value of the U.S. dollar, right? So if Vladimir Putin takes his currency to the gold standard, then it's going to have its limitations, and anybody that deals with Russia in terms of trade, they're going to have the same type of backing. They're going to have to go with the gold standard. You know what I'm saying? So if they do that, that eliminates our retarded fiat currency that we have, and that's going to devalue the dollar. Not only does it devalue the dollar, what it also does, because they don't really care about devaluing the dollar so much, because they're doing that to us right here in the United States. The Federal Reserve is doing that with this quantitative easing and increasing the M2 money supply. They're doing that themselves, but in this country itself. But you want the petrodollar to be strong internationally. It's going to weaken the petrodollar internationally, especially if India is willing to forego the dollar to trade with Russia for oil and natural gas. Europe is not going to stop dealing with it. So if Russia says, look, you can't use the US dollar, EU, to get our oil and our natural gas, then what is that going to do? Now you're talking about the EU. You're talking about certain countries in the EU that are going to have to drop the dollar to fuck with Russia. You see what I'm saying? That's where the real problem is coming in. And I feel like this has been something that Russia has been working on before they invaded Ukraine. So what does this have to do with Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein? Because Muammar Gaddafi, they weren't dealing with central banks, right? Neither was Iraq. But what happened was the same shit. They wanted Muammar Gaddafi wanted to go to gold standard for the entirety of Africa. He wanted to form an African Union where they traded in dinar that was backed by actual fucking gold. You're talking about the entire continent of Africa. So anybody that dealt with Africa in terms of trade, they can't use the world reserve currency, which is the US dollar. They'd have to go with the fucking dinar, which is backed by gold. Same thing with fucking Saddam Hussein. And so what happened with these two? They wanted to, as long as Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein was alive, they would have a large amount of influence over what goes on in their regions. Hence why Muammar Gaddafi got offed. Hence why Saddam Hussein, whose country was invaded and an entire region destabilized, was hung, right? Because they didn't want to fuck with the dollar no more. They wanted to use actual, real, substantive gold to trade with. This is a problem for the United States because we have been creating so much money out of thin air for so long, since the 70s, since Nixon took us off the gold standard, that we can't go back. We have so much money in circulation that isn't backed by anything. It's all fiat. We're screwed. And so is the power dynamic that the United States have over the world will be greatly diminished, right? Greatly diminished, because they wouldn't. It would just destroy so much power that we have here in the United States all our influence. They don't want that. So now the focus is on Putin, right? They're talking about, oh, remember the weapons of mass destruction? What Saddam Hussein? Turned out there was no weapons of mass destruction. Now they're talking about, oh, well, first they didn't have bio labs in Ukraine that the U.S. had nothing to do with, anything to do with, right? Oh, we ain't got nothing to do with that. And then people's channels were getting struck because they talked about these bio labs in Ukraine. They said it was misinformation. Turns out it wasn't misinformation, right? That chick Newland, she so much as confirmed that, right? And she was afraid of Russia getting their hands on what's in those biolabs. Well, if there's nothing dangerous in those biolabs, if it has to do with food for children in schools, then why are you worried about it? Hmm? Let's say they want to say there's no bioweapons. Okay, let's touch on that. There's no bioweapons in there, but they are studying pathogens that could affect humans, or if they're trying to do gain of function research on pathogens, you know, well, what are you dealing with then? You're creating weapons that could affect bioweapons that could affect humans, even though you're saying, no, we're just studying it and seeing how it affects us and how we can mitigate the problems with it, right? Same thing with the Wuhan lab. Well, what you're doing is if you're trying to do gain of function research and you're trying to study how a pathogen could cross over and affect humans in the most effective way, then you're fucking creating bioweapons. I mean, I'm just using common sense here. Now my channel might get struck. I might have fucked up just now, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be considered medical misinformation or not. I might have just nuked my fucking channel right now, just so y'all know. So if it cuts off abruptly, just know it's because of what I do have some backup channels. So it's Freedom's March and Freedom's March 2 and Tyrant's Bane. Y'all can go over there right now and fuck it up. Because I don't know, man. I don't know if this channel is gonna be up by the time I fucking get off this live stream. Anyway, so they talking about that, and now they're saying, oh well, Russia can get their hands on it. And then what did they start talking about? What did Joe Biden start talking about? And all these other people in the government. Oh, they could use bioweapons. You know what I'm saying? Now they're talking about chemical and biological attacks that the Russians might be initiating. And then they're talking about cyber attacks, right? The AP, just all the media out there. Oh, cyber attacks this, cyber attacks that. Oh, biological and chemical attacks. They are building this up, you guys. I believe just based on if you follow the logic trail, right? What is the next best step? If you go with the Hegelian dialectic, and there's a problem, right? Oh, the problem is Putin might be using chemical weapons and initiating cyber attacks to take out power grids and shit like that. Because that's what they're talking about. Well, what's the reaction? The people are going to be like, oh shit, what are we going to do about it? Y'all have to do something. Y'all got to do something. Y'all can't let that happen. Then what's the solution, right? What's the solution? Let's say that there is a cyber attack on a chemical plant or a nuclear plant that's creating energy. Oh well, there you go. See, there's a cyber attack. Now what are we going to do? That's an attack right here in the United States, right? Oh, that's an attack against the United, right here on American soil. So now we have to put ourselves in it. We got to go deeper than just giving weapons and food and money to Ukraine because they attacked the U.S. homeland. I'm just talking about like a fiction novel, right? I'm talking about a video game. I'm just relating what I saw in a video game to you guys. This is you know what I'm saying? This is all about a video game. This is all about, Well, it's actually on a novel that was written a few years ago. So this is what we're talking about right now. So you got Russia attacking civilians, right? Destroying people's homes, hitting food depots, uh, destroying hospitals, all these things that you're not supposed to do during war. You're not supposed to attack hospitals. You're not supposed to attack food depots. You're not supposed to attack uh, civilian people's homes and shit like that. But that's what they're saying he's doing. Okay, that's the start. That's okay. That's one point against Putin right now. Oh, he's attacking civilian cities. He's destroying homes. He's destroying food depots. He's destroying hospitals. He's blowing up. He's killing media people. He's killing reporters. Right? Several Fox reporter got killed. Several people got killed in press. These are things. These are all the buildup. Now they're talking about, oh, there might be a chemical attack, a biological attack. Oh, cyber attacks this, cyber attacks that. Listen, that's all it takes. So let's say that you have the chemical attacks and the biological attacks in Ukraine. Okay, well, because of that, we're going to have to. This guy's driving so slow in front of me. We're going to have to involve ourselves just a little bit more without actually putting U.S. troops boots on the ground in Ukraine. So we got to do a little bit more, get a little bit more involved, and then let's say, oh, in response to that, Putin initiates a cyber attack in the United States. Oh well, shit. Putin just stepped in and now. Oh shit. And all while this is happening, you have mutually assured destruction. You have that blade hanging over our heads. All the while, right? We're hoping Russia does not send nukes our way. Let me get around this guy. We're hoping that Russia doesn't send nukes our way. You know what I'm saying? And all that type of shit. And but we're gonna have to do something about Putin because he's crazed out of his mind and he might be dying because he might have some type of cancer or some shit like that. All this speculation. So we're gonna have to do something about Putin. Putin is Putin that. And so what do you do from there? The United States government is very good at creating insurgencies and military coups. You know what I'm saying? All they have to do is convince some generals in Russia that, oh, Putin's out of his mind and this is what we're going to do. We're going to help you do this, that, and the third. Uh, Russia, Putin is on the brink of starting a nuclear war, right? That's going to basically destroy the entire world. We have to do something about it. You think these generals who have children and uh, they have, things that they have going on, they might listen. They might say, you know what, what, and then that's how you do. That's how they do it, man. And then they place their own somebody that they want in charge of Russia in that position that Putin was once in. You place somebody in there, a puppet president or something like that, so that you can have your way in Russia. But that's just something I read in the book. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm talking about right now. This is not real life. I'm really just you know talking about a science fiction novel. Anyway, but that's what makes sense to me. That's why they going so hard in the paint with all this shit. Because there have been other countries that have been invaded by other countries that we didn't even bat an eye at. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they're not concerned with the Uyghur Muslims in China, right? But they would have to. If I were to, if I wanted to deal with Russia and China and and diminish their power and diminish their influence over the world, I would have to go through Russia first, right? So China's like boss level 1,000. They're like the final boss, and Russia's like the mini boss on that same level that you have to go through, right? Even though Russia has more nuclear weapons than anyone in the world, China has more troops. They have bigger military force, more people, that type of shit. So I don't know. This is just something I was thinking about, especially after Joe Biden was going so hard about removing Putin from power. See what I'm saying? So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if something happened to Putin and Russia's now become destabilized because of that or some shit like that. You know, uh, hey man, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. You know, look, I'm not pro Russia, I'm not pro Putin, and I'm not pro Ukraine, and I'm definitely not pro U.S. government getting involved in other people's shit, right? Using our tax dollars to send, using, they want to send, they already sent so many $billions to Ukraine in this last little omnibus bill, but now they want another $1 billion. They want $1 billion for um, what do they want it for? Humanitarian aid or financial aid, and then they want another 550 million or something like that for humanitarian aid. So they and they want to take in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees, and this is all on our dime, y'all. We don't get any say. Like we get no say in what they're doing with our money. They just take it out of our paychecks, and not only that, to be honest, to be real, they don't even have any more of our money to send to them. It's already spent. So you're talking about our children's money and our children's money. I don't know. Oh, and they're also, why are they sending tweets out about selective service, about how if you're between the ages of, if you're a man between the ages of 18 and 25, you're obligated to sign up for the selective service so that they can draft your ass if there's a big ass war that we need people for. Everything they do is for a reason, y'all. So, I mean, I don't have any children. Thank the universe that between 18 and I already served my time in the military, and you know, even though technically they could force me to re-enlist because I'm not 60 years old yet, but you know, I, good luck. Good luck getting my ass to get back in there. Anyway, but depending on what would happen, let's say they went after Putin, right? And you know, I don't know. Let's say they went after Putin, they failed, and Russia decided to invade the United States along with China. I wouldn't have a choice but to join in because now they're attacking my homeland, which could affect me greatly. So I wouldn't necessarily want to join the military to do that. I would just have to ensure that my community was okay. You know, basically become the militia to defend the homeland. But at the end of the day, all this shit could die down, and it's 50-50. It's 50-50 odds, really. There's a 50% chance that the United States can get further involved than they should in this Ukraine Russia thing. And then there's another and then you got 50% odds that look, they might reach some type of agreement. Ukraine will remain neutral and not join NATO or whatever the case may be. And Russia wouldn't have NATO crawling up their ass at the borders, and everything could go back to normal, to some degree of normal. That could happen, but that's not what our illustrious government wants. They wanted to escalate, right? They want us to get into a protracted war with Russia. They would make our oligarchs a shitload of money. They would be sitting on the hog, high on the hog, for quite a while, right? What they would prefer, I believe, is to essentially unseat Putin, eliminate him, and if they have to deal with insurgency in Russia, to kind of help, you know, I don't know. These people love war. Anyway, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping, you know, none of that shit happens. I'm hoping we stay out of their fucking business. Let them duke it out. Stop sending our fucking money over there. Like, like we got problems right here, right? We got shit that we could be spending our money on right here in the United States to improve our own country. Why the hell are we sending money to Ukraine? You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I'm guessing Biden has certain ties with Ukraine that kind of obligates him to, you know, be involved to a certain degree. That's what I'm guessing, especially based on this whole Hunter Biden laptop shit. You know, he might not have a choice in the grand scheme of things, But all this scandal, all these pictures of Hunter Biden, all this other shit. I mean, listen, I think it's a psyop, honestly. Like, anyway, like I was saying, 2 years ago with the Hunter Biden laptop thing, if he talked about that 2 years ago, your ass was getting canned, your ass was getting censored. It turns out that is not misinformation; it's real shit. So they these corporate social media groups, the big like YouTube and Google and Facebook, Twitter. Right now, I have one of these iPhone 13s, and it is 5G capable, but I turn that shit off. So you know, I'm not enjoying the super fast 5G speeds. I turn that shit right on off. Nope, don't want it because they don't make phones that aren't 5G capable anymore. So, but you can turn that shit off. So if you guys are forced to get a 5G phone and you don't want 5G on your phone, you can turn it off. Now, will it actually turn it off? I have no idea. I have no idea. It gives you the option to turn that shit off. So, if you don't want it, you turn it off. I don't know how effective it is at turning it off. I guess we'll find out. But pretty soon. Oh, did y'all hear about what they want to do with phones now? They don't want you to buy phones anymore. Remember, the whole Great Reset thing. Another thing that they would hit you on for misinformation, right? The Great Reset, which is actually a real thing. I don't know why they're acting like it's not. They say own nothing and be happy. Well, looks like some of these phone manufacturers are thinking that same way. So they want you to no longer own the phones. They want to lease the phones in perpetuity, right? So whatever phone you get, you will never own it. You will have to lease it. So you'll lease it for a certain period of time, and then either you keep paying for it, making monthly payments for it, or you trade it in for a new phone, which you will then lease. So they're looking into that. Don't know how it's going to work out. Don't know if it's actually going to happen. But this is what they want to do with everything, right? They don't want you to actually own shit. Own nothing and be happy. Don't worry about it, right? Even if they give you the illusion of not having to pay a monthly. So let's say with housing, let's say they say, oh, you know what? We don't want you to worry about rent or mortgages. So we'll just let you stay in this housing for free, but you don't own it. So what happens when you don't own it? Well, they can get your ass out of there anytime they want. They can force you to follow whatever rules and what you can't do, whatever you want to do to your own home. You might not be able to do it unless you get permission. This is the type of shit that they want, right? They don't want you to be able to do anything outside of what they want you to do without permission. That's what they're moving toward. Well, what's stopping them, right? Why aren't they just going full tilt with this shit? Well, because we have the right to keep our arms to a degree in the United States, and we have over 400 million firearms among the people. So and more new gun owners are popping up, buying firearms. So that's what's stopping them. That's why they're going so hard in the paint with this gun control shit. So they're jealous of New Zealand. They're jealous of Australia. They're jealous of the UK because they have their people literally over a barrel, right? And they want us the same way. So this is why, the ATF are creating regulations out of thin air, which they don't have the authority to do, by the way, right? When trying to call triggers machine guns, they're trying to do that. Pistol braces and all this type of shit that we allowed them to do over the decades. This is why they're doing it. 3D printed guns, 80% uppers. This is why they're doing this. Ghost gun regulations. Hello. They want to know what everybody has. They want to know when they're buying it. They want to know why they're buying it. That's why they want these universal background checks, because they want to know what people are getting and just lease the registry, which is illegal, but they want the registry so they can come get your shit, so they can continue on to do what they want to do to us. So that's just what it is. Oh man, come on, man. Damn it. How's my audio? How's my audio? Because this shit keeps going to the fucking. Whenever I do a live stream and the phone Bluetooth is hooked up to the. Hold on, let me see. Damn it. And the phone Bluetooth is hooked up to the car.
Your genetics and you're taking PDs.
And the phone, the fucking the audio doesn't sound right. It sounds weird. So
Anyway. Oh, man. So, I wanted to do something about, I wanted to do a video about the Amazing Lucas, right? I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wait until I'm at home and I have all my equipment set up, because I actually want to show the video of him and what he's saying about Leah Thomas and all this transgender, you know, sports stuff, you know, with the biological males participating in women's sports and basically obliterating records and, you know, destroying the women. I know Leah Thomas supposedly tied for 5th place in the 200-meter sprint in the meet, but you know, that doesn't mean he doesn't have the advantage. Just because he lost one meet doesn't mean that he doesn't have the advantage over women by leaps and bounds. It just means, so there's 3 possibilities with that. 1, he had a bad day. 2, he deliberately got 5th place so that he can be like, look, see, there's no automatic advantage. Or 3, maybe he tripped up, maybe he slipped on the wall when he was kicking off. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have an advantage over women in the sport. And you know, for whatever reason, the Clown Shoe Lucas is trying his hardest to, you know, basically say that men don't have an advantage over women. Women are just being lazy and this, that, and the third. There's no physical advantage. And he basically is enjoying the fact that these men are getting into these sports on the women's side because they suck among the men, right? I forgot what Leah Thomas placed, 400 and something among the men. So if you suck that much against other men, right, that is, you still have an advantage over women. You're still blowing out women getting 1st place damn near every time. But considering that he was 432nd place or whatever it is, ranked 432nd or whatever among the men, well, some women are probably going to be better than him, right? Just because 1 or 2 or 3 females, or in this case 4 females, beat him in one race doesn't mean that he doesn't have an overall advantage over women in general, right? Because he had a bad day, or because he deliberately threw the match, whatever the case may be, because he's still qualified, right? Anyway, but I do agree with the fact that a lot of these women are not speaking up about it. They're not standing up for themselves, or they're actually okay with it. And so, hey, that's on them for the most part. But in reality, it should not be allowed. But if they're going to sit up there and not say anything, and they're going to continue to participate in these sports, and they have a problem with it, it's on them. Anyway, enough of that. It just oh my god. And then the Clown Shoe Lucas with defining the word woman when it comes to that Ketanji, the Supreme Court nominee, Biden's pick. When it comes to that, him talking about, oh, women can't be illegal. It's such a reach. Like, he's really desperate. And he only has a problem. He's only saying that because conservatives are saying the word woman or a woman can be defined simply. So he's going to go with the opposite, right? So he's so desperate to keep that going that he's making himself look like an idiot in his video where he's trying to say that in certain contexts, women can't be defined simply. No, there is no such context that the word woman can't be defined simply. There is no such context. And I'm going to do a video about that because I think it's very important to understand. He thinks he has this level of intelligence, and he has supreme intelligence over so many people. But when I do this video, I'm going to show you that he really doesn't, or he's being intellectually dishonest, which is worse. Just to keep up this charade of, oh, whatever the conservatives go with, I'm gonna go with the opposite, and I'm gonna do a video, and I'm gonna defend women being in, men being in, competing in males and women's sports, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. All right, so I'm gonna get on that. But anyway, man, Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock, man. Smacked the shit out of him. Some people think that was fake. Some people think it was real. But, I mean, I don't know, man. They're all actors. And, they got to put on a show. They got to make shit interesting. Because, let's face it, the Oscars, the Oscars is not what it used to be, right? Their ratings are failing and all this other shit. Like, they have very sucky ratings. It could be just a way to get people interested. I don't know. But, look, man. Let's say it's real. And Chris Rock talked shit about Jada Pinkett, about her hair. I can't wait until G.I. Jane 2 comes out, blah, blah, blah. It's a joke, right? I know Jada Pinkett has a condition where, I know she has a condition where she, has forced hair loss, right? Alopecia and all that shit. But he's a comedian, right? At the end of the day, Chris Rock is a comedian, and him saying that, Will Smith did not have the right to go up on that stage and put his hands on Chris Rock without first saying, we're going to fight. I want to fight you because you're talking shit about my wife. Then I can understand you give Chris Rock an opportunity to be aware of what's going on. That way he can be prepared to fight back, right? But he went up there and sucker slapped him. I don't know, man. And that's my take on that. Very simple. But anyway, I am going to get off this and holler at y'all later, man. Thank you guys for coming into my live stream. Thanks for coming into the chat. Sorry I couldn't speak to any of y'all directly. I'm driving on these highways, and I got about 40 miles left. So, with what I do right now, I'm all over the state of South Carolina, and I even go into North Carolina sometimes. We got work all over South Carolina and North Carolina. So, it might take me. So I might have to go to a job site that's like 100 miles away or 130 miles away or something like that. Like today. Today I believe where I'm going today was about 120 miles from the shop. So it's a long ass drive. So I gotta go about 2 hours out, handle some shit real quick. stop by another job site in the same area, handle some shit, and then bring my ass back. 2 hours. So, and it's cool, man. Like, I ain't complaining too much. It's so much easier to drive out this way. Like, let me show y'all the road. I mean, this is what it looks like, right? This is basically what all highway systems look like on this side of the country. It's very efficient. You know, I hit the road at 9 o'clock, basically, around 9:30, and I mean, there was like there's not really any traffic here. There's no. You might have a couple days where, like Friday. I know Friday can be pretty bad. You get a little bit of traffic, but this is it, man. It's so much easier to get around out here. You can, I mean, I can get to Georgia in about an hour. I can get to North Carolina in an hour. You know what I'm saying? And I can get to the beach in about 2 hours. The coast. I love it. It's so much better. And look at all this green, like all the trees. This is what you see all the time out here. You know, and this is what I've been looking forward to for years. Whereas in California, man, shit, it might take me 2 hours to drive 30 miles, depending on the time of day. And it has taken me 2 hours to drive about 20 miles, 30 miles. Let's say I'm driving from the valley and I got to go to the LAX or near LAX. That's about 25, 30 miles. It could take me 2 hours, 3 hours just to travel that distance. You know what I'm saying? So it's just much better. I like it. Anyway, and I can see if I have to do certain things and be and have to be someplace real quick, I can easily do that out here. I can get to a rallying point or something like that if I need to. If we need to rally somewhere, me and my team, I can easily do that. You know? So, yeah. Put yourselves in a position where you can make moves. Anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Look out for my community posts. I'm about to post some pictures and videos. Well, not necessarily video, but pictures of some of the things we're doing. You know. And I'll holler at y'all later. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.